Well, it looks like Geno Smith finally wrote the Raiders back. Could Asante Samuel Jr. be taking his talents to the entertainment capital of the world? The Las Vegas Raiders miss out on quarterback Joe Milton, and Mark Davis believes the Raiders can win the Super Bowl this year. Yo, what is up, Raider Nation? It's your boy Samuel Raider, back at it again with yet another video. I hope everybody's having a blessed day. But if this is the very first time you guys are coming across this channel and you love daily Raider content, then hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. We are merely just under 2,000 away from 50K. So if you guys haven't already, man, hit that subscribe button. I would definitely appreciate it. First things first, breaking news today. The Raiders finally get a deal done with Geno Smith. About damn time. So we should be hearing from Geno Smith pretty soon at the Raiders training facility. So that's that. But shout out to Ian Rappaport for breaking the news, tweeting the Raiders and quarterback Geno Smith have agreed to terms on a new deal to better compensate him for his play after the blockbuster trade. Smith gets a 2-year extension deal done by Chaffee Fields and Wasserman. Las Vegas locks in its quarterback. Now Jordan Schultz would add on to that, dropping the details on the contract extension, tweeting out that the Raiders agreed to a 2-year $85.5 million extension with a $66.5 million guarantee with Geno Smith, making that roughly around $42.7 million per year. Smith was already due $31 million in 2025, so he's now on a 3-year, $116.5 million contract. Well, dang, man, with all that money that he's making over here in Las Vegas, man, we better make the playoffs, and Geno Smith better be a Pro Bowl starting QB in the league. Now, I'm not doubting Geno Smith's talents and what he can do over here in Las Vegas. It's good though. It's good news and a good sign that the Raiders finally got a deal done right before the NFL draft. I mean, we kind of knew that this was going to happen, according to Vinny B and The Athletic just a week ago. But the Raiders finally lock in their quarterback, and we could move forward. I know we're going to be hearing from Geno Smith sometime soon. We'll see. All I'm looking forward to now is just the season and seeing how good Geno Smith will look in the silver and black. I mean, everybody looked good in the silver and black, but seeing what his production is going to be on the field. We've been missing a starting caliber quarterback for some time since Derek Carr left, so to have a guy like Geno Smith under contract now that can kind of just do everything, especially reuniting with his former coach and Pete Carroll, and even having John Spytek here and Tom Brady running things, I can say that I have a lot of confidence moving forward. But then again, I kind of have confidence every single season. But with that being said, Raider Nation, man, what are your thoughts on Geno Smith finally officially signing his contract extension with the Las Vegas Raiders? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, in some other news, according to NFL Rumors, they tweeted that the Chargers free agent Asante Samuel Jr. has had interest from the 49ers, Raiders, and Cardinals. Now, Samuel was drafted in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft with the number 47 overall pick. He's played in 50 games, being a key piece to the Chargers secondary, racking up 6 interceptions, 176 tackles, and a fumble recovery. Now, I know that this is all coming from NFL Rumors, but they've gotten a lot of things right in the past. And not only that, there's really no secret that the Raiders are really interested in Asante Samuel Jr. And knowing that the Raiders have a need in the cornerback room, this makes a lot of sense. Samuels is still one of the top free agents still available, and many wonder why he hasn't had much interest up until now. Most of that can be in due part because of his durability concerns. Last season, only playing in 4 games due to a shoulder injury. Now, Samuels would be more of a boom or bust signing for any team, let alone the Raiders. But the upside, if he can stay healthy, is real high. And for a team that can use as much help as they can in the secondary, this is a perfect signing for the Raiders at this stage of free agency. I mean, the whole Raider Nation would love to have Asante a part of the team right now, and I feel like for the Raiders, they could bring him in on a low risk, high reward type of deal like they've been doing all offseason long. So I believe for the right price, the Raiders can definitely bring him in. I mean, most of the players that we brought in so far have come on, really cheap deals. And looking at what Devin White got just yesterday, a 1-year, $1 million deal with no guarantees. I'm not saying that that would be the same kind of deal we would get with Asante Samuels, but bringing him in on a team-friendly deal would only help the Raiders, and I feel like he can revitalize his career over here, especially after dealing with so much injuries after the past couple of seasons. And maybe, who knows, the Raiders maybe don't have to address cornerback in the first round. I mean, Will Johnson would still be a great pickup, but there's a lot of other cornerbacks that the Raiders could get later on in the draft if they don't address it in round 1. But if anything, the Raiders are adding depth, and I feel like Asante Samuels would fit in perfectly with this team. So with that being said, what do you guys think, Raider Nation? Should the Raiders sign Asante Samuel to this team, yes or no? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now moving on, let's talk about Joe Milton. I know this isn't really Raider news, but the Raiders kind of got brought up into this. Of course, we know that earlier today, breaking news, according to Jordan Schultz, the Patriots traded for quarterback Joe Milton III to the Cowboys. Multiple sources tell NFL on Fox, which I guess is good for the Cowboys because they could use as much help as they can, especially at the quarterback position. Knowing that they only gave up a 5th round, I think I would have given up a 5th round as well if we were to bring him over here to the Las Vegas Raiders. But outside of that, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because following that tweet, Jordan Schultz also tweeted that my understanding is since Joe Milton became available at the start of offseason, teams have showed interest including the Raiders, Eagles, Giants, Steelers, and the Cowboys. Now the Patriots had a better offer for Milton, but chose to send him where he wanted out of respect of him, per source. Well, I guess we can just say that it's good that the Raiders at least tried, right? John Spicek kind of talked about this before, saying that they were going to do everything that they can in free agency. They're going to exhaust all their options at every position, which is something that we all love to hear. And knowing that they tried to bring in Milton, which I feel like would have been a perfect fit for this team, especially to back up Geno Smith to possibly compete and be the QB1 this year, would have been something entertaining to see. But it's not going to happen. Now, I do believe that Milton is still a solid quarterback and could possibly be a star. He has all the tools to be a star in the league. He's just got to put it all together. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen over there with the Cowboys because, you know, their track history, but you never know. Even though the Raiders did miss out on the Joe Milton sweepstakes, I guess, I'm not really worried about the quarterback position. I just felt like that could have added more validity to the team already. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm just saying. I do believe that the quarterback situation right now in Las Vegas is pretty brighter than it's ever been. I mean, brighter than last year for sure. I mean, we were going into the season with Gardner Minshew and ALC, and damn, that wasn't good. But this year we have Geno Smith, of course, a great veteran that can do it all on the field, as well as AOC, who has a bright future as well. I'm not really high on him, but you never know what you could get out of him under Chip Kelly's system. All the Raiders have to do is bring in a young quarterback in the draft. Go find the quarterback that you want, whether it's in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, whatever it may be. Get the quarterback that you feel like can succeed and take over for the future. Outside of all of that, I'm not mad about it. Wish nothing but the best for Joe Milton, and I feel like the Raiders should be in good hands moving forward. And speaking of good hands, let's talk about my owner, Mr. Marky Mark. Now, of course, the offseason is probably the best time of the NFL season because we all have optimism. We all have our hopes up high, thinking that this team could do something and possibly win a Super Bowl. Well, I guess our owner, Marky Mark, feels the same exact way. Talking at the NFL annual meetings, this is what he had to say. I say it every year. This is my favorite time. We are undefeated. And that's true. That's actually true. We're undefeated just like everybody else. Now, the crazy thing about it is that this is going to be the 3rd year in a row that the Raiders are going to the NFL annual meetings with a new regime. We went from Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler to last year AP and Tom Telesco to now Pete Carroll and John Spicek. But just the same way I feel about this new regime is the same way Mark feels about it. It feels like everything's going to be a little bit different, especially now that Tom Brady has come in and took over football operations. I guess you can say that the future is a little bit bright. And one thing I got to give credit to Mark about is the fact that he's always came out, especially once he took over this team, he's been openly adamant that he doesn't know much about football, but he's doing his best to bring in the right people, to bring in the right management to come and turn this whole organization around. At the end of the day, he wants to win. So now knowing that this new regime was brought in, was cultivated from Tom Brady and even Mark Davis, and from their peers as well, gives me a little bit more hope going into the season. Then again, I know we say that every single year, but he would finish off the quote by saying, you always want to compete, but you have to be honest. Are we going to win the Super Bowl this year? I don't know. It's possible. And it sure is, Mark. It sure is. And I feel like the Raiders are going to win it all this year. Okay, in all honesty, I don't think that the Raiders are going to win it all this year. But anything can happen. I just feel like this season's going to be a little bit better. Well, I think that this season's going to be much better than last season. The only way to go is up. And hopefully we did enough so far to at least turn this whole tide around. Now, the NFL draft is going to be huge for this team, which I know free agency didn't really go as planned, as a lot of people may have planned, but I feel like the Raiders did their due diligence. I think the Raiders did enough, especially bringing in talent that has something to prove, that wants to go out there and just give it their all, and hopefully, you know, sign a future contract with this team and hopefully make this team more competitive moving forward. So with that said, I love the optimism from Mark Davis. I mean, all he can do is be optimistic until the season starts, but I have a good feeling that this year we'll feel a lot better than we did last year. But what do you guys think, Raider Nation? Do you feel like the Raiders can win the Super Bowl this year? Do you feel like the Raiders can make the playoffs? Or what's the best scenario for this team moving forward? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, according to Ryan McFadden, the Raiders have announced their offseason programs. So we finally got some dates on what's going to be going on. So the first day for the Raiders to get in the building and everything is April 8th. Voluntary minicamp will be from April 21st to the 23rd. OTAs will be May 19th, May 21st to the 22nd, May 27th, May 29th to the 30th, and June 2nd to the 5th. And then mandatory minicamp will go from June 10th through the 12th. Now, I'm really excited about the offseason, man. I know that we're in draft season right now, man. The draft is just a couple of days away, just weeks away. And I'm actually going to be at the Raiders draft party here in Las Vegas. I'm going to be covering the whole deal. Shout out to Woods and Whiskey. We're going to be getting some interviews. We're going to get some content, which I'm going to be excited about, and hopefully talk to some alumni and, you know, kind of gauge how they feel about this draft and what direction the Raiders should go in. And then hopefully being happy with the pick that we do have on day one. But overall, I'm just really happy to finally be back on YouTube for another offseason, especially an offseason like this. I know I've been really inconsistent the past couple of years, especially moving to Vegas. But this year, man, I just got a lot of good feeling. The vibes feel good right now. And I just feel real good to be covering this team once again like I used to. And also, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody out there for just supporting the channel these past couple of months, man, especially this year. I mean, we've grown from, what, 42,000? I've been stuck at 42,000 on this channel. And then once I picked up right after the season, we're moving up all the way to, what, 48K, close to 50K, which I for sure feel like we could get that by the start of the season, maybe after the draft. But again, thank you for the constant support. I'm going to be rolling out a lot of new things on this channel. One of the main things I want to do is try to do a live daily show, or at least 4 out of the 5 days of the week, go live in the morning, somewhat like a Pat McAfee show every day. Talk about the latest current events on the team and even around the NFL, and just get to interact with you guys while also bringing in some guests that could be really, really fun. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know down in the comments below. Also, I do want to revamp the whole membership and give you guys some exclusive perks. And I think I'm just going to do like one tier, because everybody should be important. It's just going to be one price, one tier. And then I'll do lives, giveaways, the whole nine. So with that being said, if you haven't already, and if you've gotten this far in the video, which, you know what, thank you, because I know not a lot of people do. I want to definitely thank you. And I hope nothing but the best for you and your day. And I just hope that the Raiders can make us happy at the end of the year. Until the next video, this is your boy Simone Raider, and your boy is Yow.